racing. You wanted the best, you got them for abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to V8s Online. It is Tuesday night. It is Dirt Night here on V8s Online, the Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series, round number 3. We head to the amazing Knoxville circuit for tonight's action. Jay Kennedy, and alongside me, as always, in the booth, is Brett Wheeler. Brett, if anything, like the last 2 rounds are anything to go by, we are in for one hell of a show once again tonight.
No, yeah, you're not wrong. It's good to be back. But this time, we come to the sprint car capital of the world, the Knoxville Raceway, big half-mile racetrack, kind of like Eldora, being big and wide. So it should be plenty of racing with lots of slide jobs, hopefully later on.
It should be very, very cool to see how it all plays out tonight. And I must say, this is probably my favourite track to broadcast from, because the extra features that iRacing have put in at this circuit are absolutely amazing, where you've got the cars driving off on the side of the circuit, and even the little Pizza Hut sitting off in the background. I think it's absolutely amazing circuit. iRacing has done a fantastic job with Knoxville.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job with Knoxville. I guess it goes for all tracks as well. They've done a fantastic job on all, and with plenty of tracks to come as well. I think we've got another 2 tracks, I believe, to come in the next build. So, as sort of the year progresses, we more than likely going to see more tracks added as well. So, they do a fantastic job on all racetracks, with the laser scan racetracks and stuff like that. So, I'm just excited for more sprint car racing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Of course, the first 2 weeks, total gap between first and second over the first 2 weeks has been 0.4 of a second. First and second has been the same in each of those races, with Lewis Hewitt a little bit easier in the end with a 3.5 win over Joel Berkeley. But that first week, that was an absolutely phenomenal finish. Bob King currently 3rd in the championship, with Dylan Sharman and James Robbie rounding out the top 5. Those front 2 have broken away in regards to the championship standings, but the rest of the pack is pretty tight and close, and we've seen some pretty intense racing the whole way through.
Yeah, it starts from drivers going out and qualifying. With that inversion, you see the fastest qualifiers, I should say. Start on the second row. They really have to race their way towards the front of the field, and when you got a lot of fast drivers, there's no real weak heat race. I mean, any one of these drivers have the potential to win any one of these races that come up. But as you've said, the first week at Lanier, I mean, the heat racing was just phenomenal. Even the main event, when we had a 1-lap shootout last week, we had a green white checker as well. Tonight, who knows what's to come? I mean, hopefully we're going to see some more slide jobs and another good round of sprint car racing.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have another one of those heart attack moments at the finish line, though, because I don't think my neighbours would appreciate us yelling like we did that first round. But the racing has been absolutely phenomenal, and we're not too far off getting qualifying underway. Last week in qualifying, it was intensely close. I think we had the top 20 cars separated by about 2.5 tenths or so. So for those of you who are fairly new to dirt racing, this is going to be insane. It is going to be intense, because it will be very, very tight and close, which is exactly what you want to see.
It certainly is. And, round number 3 of the Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series only been held over 4 weeks. So, as you said, Lewis Hewitt and Joel Berkeley have been the 2 standout drivers. Yes, Lewis had quite a bit of luck last week with Dylan Sharman, who led for, I think, about 21 or 22 laps before getting involved in an incident with Tim Ryan. And, Tim Ryan finishing 3rd last week. I think Sharman finished 4th. And obviously, Joel Berkeley got 2nd for the 2nd week in a row. But, he'll be looking to bounce back and go one better this week.
We've got, I think, 29 drivers this week. So staying pretty consistent around the 30-odd mark. Just fluctuating around that mark, which is pretty good. I think that's a good number to have. We'll see 3 rounds of heats again, as we've seen throughout the season so far. We will also see the guys out there in just a moment for qualifying. Actually, it's just starting right now, and we'll get some pictures through in just a very, very quick moment. When I actually click the right button, I'll be able to put some pictures on the screen. That'll make it easy, won't it?
Look, I know the pain you go through trying to get a broadcast up and going.
Which button am I pressing here? There we go. We've got pictures through. That is what we were intending to do. And we will see who we can pick up on track. Bob King is the first driver out there on his laps. And he's crossed the line to complete his second lap. 15.6 looks like the mark to beat at the moment.
Cars out on the racetrack at the moment. So it's Joshua Schuberth, quick time with a 15.572. I'm interested to see what the number 12 can do. That's Trent Gosley. Zach Phelan jumps to position number 2 with a 15.619. Trent Gosley actually qualified fairly decent last week and had a bit of a mishap in his heat and had to come through the B main. We've seen some guys come from the B mains and really move forward. Trent Gosley goes position number 5. Lachlan Smith to position number 2 with a 15.617. But as it stands, car number 83, Joshua Schuberth with a 15.572 sits at position number 1.
Yeah, we saw Gosley last week. He had heaps of bad luck in the heat and almost didn't make it through in the C main as well. The B main, number 1. That's watching Joel Berkeley see what he can do. It's not going to be enough. 15.7 slots into 6th. A little bit more spread than what we saw last week at the moment in qualifying laps as Craig Dunn jumps into 5th. It's top 10 separated by 2/10. We had top 20 separated by that margin last week as Berkeley improves on his second lap. Goes to second, 14 thousandths of a second off the quick time of Schuberth.
Yeah, watching Daniel Gow in car number 22, sitting 12th quick. At the moment, he goes 15.698, jumps to position number 8. Jake Maloney out there as well. He just wraps up his time. He goes 14th quick. Craig Dunn 6th quick. And just trying to find out who else is on the racetrack who hasn't.
Tim Harris is about to start a lap. He's starting very, very slow.
Yeah, I think you'll find what they're doing is they only put 2 gallons of fuel in. And so in order to make it around the racetrack, they don't want to get on the gas too early because otherwise you'll need roughly about 2.3, 2.4 gallons of fuel. So that's why you'll see a lot of the drivers really go slow up until they get to turn 3 and 4. Tim Harris, first lap, 15.668, goes position number 6. And these TTL cars, man, they just know how to get the job done when it comes to qualifying racing, no matter what it is. They just always seem to find the front. No doubt they are, if not the Australia's best dirt team for sure on the racetrack in the 077 is Vince Romeo.
Vince was one of those little bit of surprise packets in the last round. He worked his way through the field, did a good job in the heat, got himself into the A final, and very consistent in his driving in the last round, second week of this series, and see what he can do. 16.1, that'll slot him back just outside the top 20 in the 25th position. Oh, Hewitt.
Sorry to jump over the top here. Lewis Hewitt over a 10th and a bit quicker. Quick time in the 666. Man, and I just said it before, another TTL driver. That was outstanding from Hewitt.
Like Hobson's the last driver to go out there in the SSR 88. Don't go 6th, Hobbo. I think he has. Or 9th, upside down 6. He'll slot into 9th. We only got 1 car left to do a lap, which is Scott Butler. So we've had 28 of our 29 punch in a lap time. And she's pretty close. The top 26, half a second. That is very, very close and very tight.
Can confirm Scott Butler has DC'd from the server. So I dare say that we may end up advancing the session, or the admins may advance the session as well. It just goes over across the scales. I'm just watching him now. So, but man, Lewis Hewitt, quick time with a 15.446, the only driver to hit a 15.4 second lap. Joshua Schuberth in second quick, and that's a good result for that number 83 because I mean he hasn't really been towards the front of the field. He's been sort of stuck at the mid pack. So 15.572, Joel Berkeley 15.586, third quick. You go back to Lachlan Smith 15.617, and Zach Phelan rounds out your top 5 with a 15.619, and still less than a second separating for the top, from first to position number 28.
And that mid pack from say 6th through to 21st, there's only a tenth separating those guys, so it is pretty intensely close in this series. We're not far off getting things underway. We will have 3 heats. They will have 9 or 10 in each heat. Top 4 will be inverted from qualifying times. Then we will have 2 B mains, and top 4 go through from each of those, which will give us a 23 car final field for our main event. So we'll only drop 5 in the end, but it's all over before we know it, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. And just looking at the inversion as well, that you're going to see Daniel Gow, Trent Gosley, and Craig Dunn all start out of position number 1. Jock Goodyear just missing the inversion there by 1 spot, so he'd be a little bit disappointed in that one. The session has rolled over. We're going to get set for heat race number 1. We'll go through the grid when a few of the cars get on the racetrack. In fact, I'll go through it now while we're waiting. It's the 57 of Craig Dunn starting out of position number 1. Who's outside car number 6? It's going to be Cam Dance. Out of position number 3, it's the 911 of Lachlan Smith, who is outside. Quick time tonight, the 666 of Lewis Hewitt. Jock Goodyear in car number 15 starts out of position number 5. Josh Michaelmore out of position number 6 in car number 96. The 66 of Harry Edwards lines up out of position number 7 to his outside. It's going to be the 11 of Trent Vardy. Vince Romeo and Cody Morosky, they will start in row number 5, and 10 cars in this one. 10 laps on the board, top 5 to the main event.
From memory, this circuit really develops 2 lines fairly quickly. Is that correct from memory? Am I right? I feel like I'm right.
Look, we Lewis and I done a 360 race today. It was a league race, and they've done the heat race formats and stuff like that. And yes, there was actually multiple groups come feature time. There was actually 3 lanes of racing. So, I mean, yes, the track has certainly got the potential, to run 2 and 3 wide. It's just a matter of where the drivers, want to run and put their cars on the racetrack. You'll find probably in the first heat, as we're just sort of watching the track at the moment, you may see sort of one line. All the drivers, might be riding that high side of the racetrack or the middle part. Not right up against the wall. They'll run the middle part just above that slick lane developing, and then that'll obviously widen out as the heats go on as well.
Right, still on the iRacing pace track. A little bit of time before we get underway. Big thank you to all of the sponsors and supporters of this awesome series for getting it up and underway. Down Under Graphics, Ash Media, Speedway Footage. Big thanks to everyone that's put in the hard work to get this series up and running. It's been a phenomenally successful series so far, and there's a few more exciting things planned in the coming weeks and months as well, with awesome Australia versus New Zealand showdown coming up in a few weeks. We'll talk about that later on, though. We haven't got time to talk about anything. We're ready to go for heat number 1.
Craig Dunn, Cameron Dance on the front row. We get set to go green. The green is out. The cars are rolling, and we are underway. Hewitt gets a shocker of a start. He's going to lose 3 spots, but immediately back to the outside, and he's going to reclaim those 3 spots, and he jumps back up into position number 4. That's the matter right now. Cody Morosky, who did start out of position number 10. He's made his way up into the top 5. He's now fighting Jock Goodyear for that 5th and final transfer spot. Goodyear on the top side in the black and blue 15. Here comes Vince Romeo in the 077, the black and green machine. Morosky's some troubles on that race car. I don't think he filled up just quietly. As we're down into 1 and 2, they go. Cameron Dance, your race leader from Craig Dunn. Lachlan Smith in 3rd. Lewis Hewitt rides in 4th, so securing a top 4, or top 5 at the moment. And those 5 drivers will advance. Jock Goodyear being on the bubble at the moment. We complete lap number 3. Hewitt ducks to the inside of Lachlan Smith in turn number 1 and 2. This is your battle for 3rd. Into turn number 3 and 4. Smith running right through the middle of the racetrack. Meanwhile, Craig Dunn, he's starting to catch up to the number 6 of Cam Dance. Oh, we got a car around that looks like it's the 26th of Cody Morosky. It is, so Morosky having some issues. I thought he was out of field just quietly. Your top four, nose to tail down the back straightaway. Run the top side in turn number 1 and 2. Lachlan Smith and the Gavin Sadler Racing entry. The 911, the black and red machine, sitting in third place at the moment. Catches up to Craig Dunn just a little bit as they go into turn number 3 and 4. Dunn, a couple of car lengths away from your race leader as Dunn looks to the low side off turn number 2 past the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. We're going to complete lap number 7 of the 10 allocated laps here in heat race number 1. The first of 3 heat races here tonight. Cam Dance still your race leader. Craig Dunn in second. Third still Lachlan Smith. The 666 of Lewis Hewitt regained after that early start mishap. We lost 3 spots but claimed to back up again. Hewitt to the inside. 2 laps to run. He's going to put a slider on Smith. Smith has to get out of the gas. He could have crossed back underneath him now. Hewitt goes a big slide job on himself right now in turn number 3 and 4. The white flag is out for Cam Dance. Half a mile to run. Dunn in second. Hewitt third. Smith in fourth. Smith, he's got a chance to claim third here. Lewis Hewitt around the outside of Craig Dunn. This is the battle for second. What a pass. Craig Dunn's out of fuel. He's going to just coast across the line to get to your top 5. Cameron Dance picks up the win. Lewis Hewitt second. Third went to Lachlan Smith. Craig Dunn out of fuel will get fourth. Just Jock Goodyear will be the 5th car to go into the main event. Vince Romeo, Josh Barkemore, Harry Edwards, Trent Vardy, Cody Morosky. You will see those guys in a B main. And Jay, well, like the previous 2 weeks, there's no time to catch a breather. We get set feet race number 2.
Yeah, apologies if you want to get any replays, Cut Price Racing replays. We're not going to be able to have any because there is absolutely no time at all. This heat will feature Tim Harris, Michael, Mitchell even.
Mitchell Piskalik.
Piskalik, there you go. I would have butchered that, no doubt about that. Scott Butler, Trent Gossley, Tim Harris, Zach Filand, Joshua Schubert, Brett Geriardis, John Billington, Matt Reed, and Jacob Childs. 10 once again in this heat. Scott Butler obviously will not feature, so we'll only have 9 runners in this one. But good start to the night already. We're in for a good show, this one. It's going to be very, very good tonight.
We may just actually see the 94 of Scott Butler. He has reconnected back to the server, but no, he's not actually on the grid, so he missed the grid, so he'll miss his heat race. So Trent Gosley in car number 12 starts on the pole in the Gavin Sadler Racing entry. To his outside, the TTL driver of Tim Harris in car number 48 at a position 2. Zach Phelan in the 49, also a Gavin Sadler Racing entry. Joshua Schubert in car number 83 starts out of position 4. We'll see if he can sneak into or stay in the top 5 to get a direct transfer into the main event. Also, just quickly looking at the invert for the feature. The second place car in this one will start out of position number 2. The winner will start out of position number 5. Speaking of position number 5, the 42 of Brett Gerard lines up alongside the 62 of John Billington. Inside, run number 4, the 7 of Mitchell Piskalik alongside him in the Lightning Sprint race. So the 46, Matty Reid and Jacob Childs rounds out your 9-car field. Heat race number 2, another 10 laps on the board as the drivers come down the back straightaway around the Knoxville Raceway. Sprint car capital of the world. Jay, quickly, who do you think will take out heat number 2?
Going to be tight between pretty much all of those top 5. The first 5 are going to be pretty close. I'm not sure. I'll put the curse on whoever I pick, so I'm not going to pick anyone.
Pick the pace car. That's the safest option as the pace car pulls into pit lane. Trent Gosley, Tim Harris, we are green. Gosley with a car length start on the outside of the front row of Tim Harris, but that's not going to stop the 48 of Harris looking to the outside down the back straightaway. Now ducks to the low side into turn number 3 and 4. Gosley, your race leader. Harris in second. Schubert in that 83, right on the tail tank. The 48 as they go into 1 and 2. Phelan in 4th. Rounding out the top 5 is John Billington. Billington rides in the 5th and final transfer spot. Meanwhile, back up towards the front of the field right now, it's Tim Harris all over the back of the 12 of Trent Gosley. Now going to look to the inside, down the back straight away. Gets a slick spot on the racetrack and gets the car a little bit sideways, loses momentum. Meanwhile, Joshua Schubert, so far the only driver to sort of adventure down on the low side in turn number 3 and 4, top 1 and 2, bottom 3, 4. That looks the fastest place, or the fastest way around the Knoxville Raceway at the moment. As all drivers make me a liar and stay on the top side of the racetrack in turn number 3 and 4. But we are coming towards the halfway stage of the race. We've got 4 down and 6 laps left to run here in heat race number 2. Gosley still leading from the drop of the green flag. 48, the TTL driver of Tim Harris in second, looking to make advances. But if he just stays there, he'll actually start on the outside of the front row, being the 6th inversion for the feature race. So, not sure whether he knows that or not, but if he's listening, he might know it now. Gosley. And we're going to battle for third right now. Phelan looks to the inside of Joshua Schubert. So here comes the 49 of Zach Phelan. He makes a pass out of turn number 2. Slider in turn 3 and 4. No. Keeps the car in the middle of the racetrack, and that allows Schubert to get around the outside of the 49. 2.5 to run. Gosley still out in front. Harris still rides in second. Schubert just in third. Phelan is in fourth, and rounding out your top 5. I think we've got Daylight in 5th spot right now. I'm just trying to find who it is. It's Brett Gerard. But the battle is well and truly on for that 3rd spot on the racetrack right now. Schubert still running the top side of the racetrack. 1 lap to go, half a mile, which means 4 turns left for Trent Gosley to pick up heat race number 1. Tim Harris in second. Is he not going to make the move? No, he's not. Schubert will finish third, but officially Trent Gosley gets the win. Tim Harris in second. Third, we'll go to Joshua Schubert, Zach Phelan in fourth. Brett Gerards rounds out the top 5. John Billington, Mitchell Piskalik, Matt Reed, Scott Butler, and Jacob Childs. We will see those guys in the B main.
Just see Scott got out there for a couple of laps. He got 6 laps in before the end of the race, so that's his practice done for the night, and he'll go through B main, which will be up after this next heat. Amazingly, we're already coming up to the end of our heats. The results for heat 2 are on screen though. Gosley, Harris, Schubert, Phelan, and Gerards through to the A main. And we get heat number 3 up on screen. Let's see if this works. It does. Beautiful. Daniel Gow, Brenton Hobson, Bob King, Joel Berkeley, John Schultz, Jake Maloney, Gavin Sadler, Aaron Kelly, and James Rice. The 9 cars in this race. Got a front 3 are all Synergy Sim Racing.
Yeah, it kind of feels like an SSR versus TTL versus GSR heat race right now. Daniel Gow in car number 22 on the pole. The 88 of Brendan Hobson to his outside. Bob King in car number 51 out of position number 3. Those 3 drivers, yes, they are all teammates, but let me tell you, that won't stop them from certainly putting on a show. Joel Berkeley starts out of position number 4 in car number 9. The 78 of John Schultz out of position 5. Another TTL driver. The 29 of Jake Maloney out of position number 6. Aaron Kelly starts out of position 7. The 71 of Gavin Sadler out of 8. And James Rice, all on his Pat Malone at the back. And car number 5 out of position number 9. And our final heat of the night before we get into our 2 B mains. And then they'll have a couple-minute warm-up. And then we'll get set into the 30-lap main event. A show that is very, very quick. Doesn't take long to run at all.
Whole night flies by before it even begins. Heat number 3 is about to get underway. Green flag will fly right about now.
And we are racing down into 1 and 2. Daniel Gow with a big slide job on teammate Brendan Hobson. Although he's going to just tuck in behind the number 22 as they rocket into turn number 3 and 4 on the top side of the racetrack. Joel Berkeley in the 9. He has gained 1 position so far. Almost gets into the left rear. Brendan Hobson now has to check up a bit, and that checks up Bob King as well as they both look to the inside. As now here comes Berkeley, staying down low as he just has to get out of the gas to keep all 4 tyres in the moisture right now. Will we see a slide job from Berkeley? No, going to continue to run the low side of the racetrack in 1 and 2. He's now pulled up alongside even Does that make sense? He pulled up alongside the 88 of Brendan Hobbs. Now here comes a 51. That is Bob King. Also, this is a 3-car battle for the minor placings right now. Berkeley makes a mistake in 1 and 2. That gives the top 3 to the SSR drivers. But Berkeley, he is not going to take this line down. We got a battle on for 5th as well, Aaron Kelly, but we're not going to worry about that. They were 3 wide momentarily going into turn number 1 and 2. Slide jobs, crossovers, King and Hobbo, these sort of bang wheels down the back straight away. Berkeley shuts the door on both of them into turn number 3 and 4. Daniel Gow continuing to lead. Now, the Knoxville Classic, Daniel Gow and Joel Berkeley got into it. Will history repeat itself? 5 down, 5 to run. Berkeley with no, he's going to stay on the bottom side. He's challenging for the race lead, and that bottom side is super duper fast right now. Gow going to come back to the inside, side by side. Oh, Gow almost got into the left rear of Berkeley. Now Gow going to keep it pinned down low, as does Bob King. Hobbo still running up top in turn number 3 and 4. The way these guys get into the corners is just absolutely phenomenal. Berkeley still on the inside in 3 and 4. He's certainly found the fastest way around this racetrack. Gow to the low side in 1 and 2, hits the infield berm. He slides up to the top of the racetrack, loses a bit of speed. Now here comes the 51 of Bob King. 1 lap to go as they come out of turn 4. The white flag is waving right now. And here comes King. He's up to position number 2. He's definitely not going to have enough for Berkeley, but we'll keep an eye as they go into 3 and 4. Berkeley, King and Gow, that will be your top 3. Hobson will grab 4th, 5th. He's going to go to John Schultz, and those 5 drivers we're going to see later on tonight. Aaron Kelly, Gavin Sadler, James Rice, and Jake Maloney. The 4 guys that we'll see in a B main 1 or 2. In fact, it's just 1 B main tonight.
Yep. So we'll only have 19 in the main event tonight.
No, top 9 go through.
Top 9, okay.
Yep. So that'll give us 24.
Yep. Very cool. So Berkeley, King, Gow, Hobson, Schultz, Kelly, Sadler, Rice, and Maloney. Maloney and Rice both had big issues at the start, and that cost them any chance, and they actually fought pretty hard though amongst themselves the whole way through the rest of that race. 12 laps from memory as well for the B main. I think I've got that wrong as well.
Yes, yeah. No, 12 laps. You're right.
Jeez, I got something right. Go me.
All right, the grid for B main, the one and only B main. Some of these drivers may have an advantage knowing the guys in heat number 3 who've just come off the racetrack, they're going to have a little bit of track knowledge rather than the guys in heat race number 1, unless they've been watching. Starting on the pole in the 077, it's going to be Vince Romeo. At a position number 2, we'll see the 62 of John Billington. At a position 3, the 18 of Aaron Kelly. At a position 4, the 96 of Josh Michaelmore. At a position 5, it's a 7 of Mitchell Piskalik. Gavin Sadler in car number 71 starts out of position number 6. The 66, Harry Edwards, starts out of position 7. Matt Reed in car number 46 starts out of position number 8. James Rice, car number 5, out of position number 9. Trent Vardy in car number 11 starts out of position number 10. The 94 of Scott Butler starting out of position number 11. At a position 12, it's the 29 of Jake Maloney. The 26, Cody Morosky, starts out of position number 13. And Jacob Charles in car number 17 starts out of position number 14. And Jake, it's only 12 laps, so 2 laps added on to a heat race distance. This time we take 9 from this one, and they'll tag the back of the main event.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty intense around that 8, 9, 10, 11 area in this race. You got every single one of these guys who are good enough to have made it through, straight through the heat races. So it's going to be a bit of ego in this run, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out.
12 on the board, pace car off the racetrack right now, waiting for the drop of the green flag from the virtual Doug Clark, and we are racing. A big wheel stand there by the 62 of John Billington. Now remember, no yellow flags in any heat races or the B mains. I'll keep an eye on the 96 of Josh Buckwell, another one of those SSR drivers. Also keep an eye on the 29 of Jake Maloney. Mitchell Piskalik in car number 7 of the Shell Helix, number 7 to the inside of Billington. That's your battle for 3rd and 4th at the moment. Piskalik on the low side, Billington on the top side of the racetrack, jumps the cushion in turn 3 and 4. Edwards gets into the side of Michael right now, and here comes Butler and Sadler, 3 wide into turn number 1 and 2, and it was Harry Edwards who got sucked up and spat out the back. I think he's in about 9th spot at the moment, and he's going to have contact here with Cody Morosky. Morosky around as we keep an eye on the battle for 9th. Harry Edwards in the 66 is that 9th and final car that will transfer. Maybe this track is catching some of these guys out. Here comes the 46 of Matt Reed to the outside. This is your battle for the final transfer spot. Edwards holds a position right now on the silver and white, and I think there's black in there involved in that car. He's in that bubble spot right now. Matty Reid in the orange and blue, number 46. Behind Matty Reid is James Rice. He's just plodding along at the moment, waiting for these guys to make a mistake. Edwards into the inside of Sadler. Sadler going to get bumped back to a spot. Oh, they made contact. Edwards. Oh, Matty Reid. In comes James Rice, and he's into the mix now. Oh, the 11 of Vardy goes around. This is absolute carnage and mayhem in the B, mate. You talk about cutthroat right now. And out of all that, Harry Edwards is still in that 9th and final transfer spot as we are halfway home, past halfway home right now. 7 down and 5 laps left to run here in the B, mate. How about the battle on for the race lead? It was Vince Romeo and Aaron Kelly side by side. Kelly on the low side into 3 and 4. Romeo up top, battle on for 3rd as well as Piskalik. He takes over 3rd from Billington, but back up front, Aaron Kelly, he's sticking his nose on the low side of the racetrack, and he pulls alongside of Romeo, but they go into 3 and 4, and Aaron Kelly, he's going to go back up to the top of the racetrack right now, really get that run. He ducks to the low side, looking for that slide job. No, going to keep it in the middle of the racetrack right now. 2.5 to run for Vince Romeo. Nothing still needs to happen from these drivers. They are locked into the show. Piskalik in 3rd, Billington 4th, Michael Moore and Butler have contacted. In comes Jake Maloney. Upside down is the 29. And he gets collected from Gavin Sadler. And that's going to throw a spanner into the works right now. Butler going backwards in a heartbeat. 1 lap to go, and I'm trying to keep an eye on the 9th and final transfer spot, or around there right now. Childs up to position number 8. Scott Butler is that 9 in the 94. Right on the bubble right now. I don't think Gavin Sadler's going to be able to make anything of it into turn number 3 and 4. The checkers are out. Well, they either win it or bin it, but it's going to be coming home in first, the 077 of Vince Romeo. 2nd, Aaron Kelly, Mitchell Piskalik in 3rd. 4th, John Billington, Josh Michaelmore in 5th. 6th, James Rice. Harry Edwards in 7th. Jacob Childs from 14th up to 8th. Scott Butler from 11th up to position number 9. And those guys will tag the back of the feature. It'll be Gavin Sadler, Matt Reid, Jake Maloney, Trent Vardy, Cody Morosky. Those guys will be sent home, and they'll have to watch an action-packed B-main for sure.
That was intense, to say the least. We have seen plenty of action. The guys now out on track just getting a little bit of a warm-up. The track will actually get a little bit of a grade before the feature race. And it's going to be a very, very hotly contested one. And shout out to Daniel Gow. He's actually racing on a controller, and he's saying it's quite tough. How's that?
Don't listen to him. He's a Kiwi that's full of something. Full of food.
That would be a good effort if you actually were on a controller. I've attempted iRacing on a controller, and it is not fun in the slightest.
No, I do know a couple of people that race on a controller, and I'm going to go on record and say they can be smooth sometimes, but they can be out of control as well. But it is what it is. They if they can adapt to it, and if it works for them, hey, why not?
Exactly right. And saying before, there's a special event coming up in a few weeks' time. I think the 13th of March. The Australia versus New Zealand Dirt Invitational. Got 14 drivers from New Zealand, 14 drivers from Australia taking on each other in the first part of the night will be sprint car racing, and then after a little bit of sprint car racing, we'll go and do some midget racing. It's going to be pretty cool to see who can end up taking the win in that in a couple of weeks' time.
Look, we all know Australia's better at everything than the Kiwis are, but let me tell you, I'll give the Kiwis credit where credit is due. They can get around a midget, that's for sure.
Yep, definitely can, and we'll see some big names that are in this race and other names who aren't in this series that are going to be turning up for that one. Looking forward to seeing how that goes. Yeah, that's going to be an awesome series coming up in a few weeks' time here on V8 Online. Tuesday night has become the unofficial dirt night here on V8 Online, and hoping to bring more and more dirt action to you over the coming months, and we're getting ready for the A main to get underway.
Yeah, we'll go through the starting grid. So let me know if you got the
Yep, good to go.
grid overlay already. Yep, the 51 of Bob King starts at a position number 1. The 48 of Tim Harris lines up at a position number 2. The 666 of Lewis Stewart at a position 3. Teammate Joel Berkeley starts at a position number 4. At a position 5, the 12 of Trent Gosley lines up alongside the 6 of Cameron Dance, who starts at a position number 6. At a position 7, it's going to be the 83 of Joshua Schubert lining up alongside the 22 of Daniel Gow. Craig Dunn out of position... Oh, I missed one. Lachlan Smith, starts out of 7th. Schubert 8th. Gow 9th. Craig Dunn out of position number 10. Zach Phelan starts out of position number 11. And Brenton Hobson starts out of position number 12. Jock Goodyear and Brett Gerards occupy row number 7. Inside row number 8 is going to be the 78 of John Schultz and 077 of Vince Romeo to his outside. Aaron Kelly out of position number 17. Out of position number 18 is going to be the 7 of Mitchell Piskalik. John Billington and Josh Michael Moore occupy row number 10. James Rice and Harry Edwards occupy row number 11. Jacob Childs and Scotty Butler winds up our 24-car field. And Jay, quickly before the drivers get going this time by, prediction.
It'll come down to the wire. I don't know who'll win it.
That's not a prediction.
It's common sense. It's
Pick a
almost
number.
a given. Hewitt's got form in a good starting position. Going to be hard to beat.
I'll go his teammate to the outside, the number 9. As we get set for the main event here, round number 3, the Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series here in the Sprint Car capital of the world. Let's get 30 for 30. We are green here in Knoxville, and wheel stands from the front row. Bob King going to try and slide up and take the top side of the racetrack. Oh, already a caution is out. Harry Edwards, in car number 66, upside down in a big way. Not sure what happened to the double 6 there.
Also, Piskalik as well was involved in that. I saw him upside down as facing the wrong direction. So we'll get a replay, thanks to Cut Price Racing, of the start and see if we can pick up exactly what happened. Watching for the 66 and the 7 here.
I think this may have started just in front of those guys.
Yeah.
Aaron Kelly on the low side just got into the 78 of John Schultz.
And then they've just come high, unfortunately making contact with both, firstly with Piskalik and then into Edwards, and they both, that's the most easy way to define an unfortunate incident that you had no control over, because they did nothing wrong there at all.
Another big thing too, just as the yellow came out, Bob King had checked up, and him and Tim Harris come together. Bob King actually went around, and Craig Dunn came through and finished the 51 off. And Bob King, he is missing a front wing and front hood on that race car, so he's definitely going to have some troubles trying to get a handle on that machine. As we look towards the lights are still on the pace truck as they come out of turn number 4, but TTL driver sitting 1, 2, 3, and where's the 666? I'm not seeing.
He's actually out of the race. He's in the pits. He's out of the race and done. What has happened to him?
One of the race favourites.
That's
having a look at the replay.
Absolute description of commentator's curse there, isn't it?
I'm not sure what happened to him because
He's been involved in another accident. With that accident with Bob King, he's ended up absolutely destroyed and upside down. So he, King, also Lachlan Smith were all involved in a secondary accident as the caution come out.
Wow, doesn't this change the championship points at the moment? Pace car in on the race on the infield right now. Tim Harris gets us back underway. So TTL sit 1, 2, and 3 at the moment on this restart. It's Tim Harris to lead, Joel Berkeley, Cameron Dance in third, and oh no, cautions will breed cautions.
Billington and also Kelly at the back of the field bringing that one out. We'll see if we can get another CPR replay. See if we can pick up exactly what happened at the restart. I don't think we even got past the actual finish line before that caution had been thrown. I don't think the pace truck even got to put the handbrake on before he'd had to be called back out on the circuit again, but hopefully we'll get a little bit of green flag running. We sometimes see this with these dirt events. We get a couple of cautions back to back in the opening quarter, and then all of a sudden we have a long green run. So fingers crossed it goes that way.
Yeah, it just looked like Billington, as he come off turn number 4, it just looked like he hit some sort of invisible slick patch, and it sort of got the car out from underneath him. And unfortunately for Aaron Kelly, he was just the innocent party that time involved in that one. And cautions breed cautions, but well, hopefully these guys can settle down and get into a rhythm. At the moment, we've completed 6.5 laps. It'll be 7 laps complete when they come past this time. So it'll be 20. In fact, it'll be 8 laps complete by the time we get our next green flag. So haven't really had too many green flag laps. So just 2, in fact.
And they're really 2 corners if we really want to get technical. It hasn't been green for very long at all, but amazing in the short amount of time that we've been green, the field has shuffled immensely, and those top 3 from TTL Esports, and also can't discount Schubert in 4th, because he was our fastest qualifier for a long time up until Hewitt put in that mega lap. So any of those 4 could be right in with it, and even the likes of Dunn, Gosling and Hobson, they could work their way forward as well.
Wouldn't count out the 22 of Daniel Gow either. Knows how to be fast around the Knoxville Raceway. Looking at some of the hard charges, Josh Michael Moore, car number 96, 20th up to 13th. Jacob Childs, 24th up to 15th. We're back underway. Let's see if the guys can get past turn number 1 and 2 this time by. It's still Harris. That's Tim Harris to lead from Joel Berkeley, Cameron Dance, Joshua Schubert in the 83, trying to break up this TTL podium lockout right now. Early on in the race, and that number 9 is starting to come after your race leader, the 48. Tim Harris going to have a lot of pressure by the 9 and the upside down 9, which is the 6 of Cameron Dance. They run nose to tail down the back straight into 3 and 4. Berkeley goes to the low side as he did in his heat race, and he's going to try and get the drive off corner number 4. Battle on for the race lead. Berkeley to the inside. He goes through the middle, and Harris gets the drive, and here comes Dance. Almost to the outside. Oh, yellow is out on the racetrack. We'll see. It looks like we may have Scott Butler in the 94 involved in that.
Almost cleaned up our cameraman. That's the position he's in right now. He's actually over the fence. So,
that actually started with Jock Goodyear and Bob King.
CPR replay on screen now, and you can see Goodyear in the 15. Actually made contact with Romeo, and then King unfortunately finished him off, brought out the caution, and then as they were checking up, Butler and also I think that was Jacob Childs both got into each other in the secondary part of that caution after the caution had already been thrown due to the spin. Get another look at that there where they've come together trying to avoid contact, and both tried to check up at the same time, and it's unfortunately ended very, very bad for Butler. Night hasn't gone at all his way. He somehow made his way into the final, but it's going to end pretty much at the same time as it started for Scott Butler.
He pretty much his 6 laps that he got to do in his heat race was pretty much his warm up and qualifying times. But he's had a tough night as some of these drivers. Just looking at James Rice from 21st up to position number 16 as well. He's just sort of kept his nose clean and just trying to avoid the wrecks. Vince Romeo from 16th up to 10th. Brett Gerard's 14th up to 8th. We got Hobbo from 12th up to position number 6. We know he loves a good 6, apparently.
He doesn't want to talk about the number 6. It's almost become a bit of a superstition, and of course, Fiat Scops this weekend. Hopefully, for his sake, he'll finish higher than 6th. The curse might be lifted. We're ready to go.
All right, so it'll be 14 laps complete. 16 laps left to run, and Tim Harris wastes no time on getting back on the gas and trying to put him a little bit of distance here between himself and second place, the number 9 of Joel Berkeley. Dance still rides in third. Schuberth about 5 or 6 car lengths back from the podium at the moment. Berkeley back to the low side in 3 and 4. This is what he'd done in his heat race. Now he goes to the top in 1 and 2. Harris goes with a slide job line. Here comes Trent Cosley in car number 12. He's made his way to position number 5. Harris through the middle, back towards the race lead right now. Harris through the middle, slides up to the top of the racetrack, coming off turn number 4. He slams it all shut in turn number 1 and 2, and Berkeley, he's up top of the racetrack. Look at that. TTL 1, 2, and 3, all on the top side in 1 and 2, and they run 3 different lines in turn number 3 and 4. Berkeley, he's very close to making this stick, as he got out of the ass big time. He thought the door was going to get shut like it did a couple of laps ago. Harris still holding on strong right now. Berkeley goes to the top in 3 and 4. Here comes Dance. Almost looks to the inside off corner number 4. Harris continuing to run the low side of the racetrack. Berkeley, is he giving a false sense of security to think that bottom side is fast? We know it was fast in the heat races, but it was the top in the first couple of heat races, and then it came to the bottom side of the racetrack. Now look at that. Probably about 5 car lengths between your top 3. TTL just dominating the Knoxville Raceway right now. And it's still Tim Harris, Berkeley. Here comes Schuberth right now. Going to throw his name into the mix. He's going to want to get himself a nice little podium spot in the Momo. Car number 83. Harris starting to feel the pressure from that number 9. As Dan's kind of like almost going NASCAR style, almost pushing Berkeley down the back straightaway. As he goes to the low, no, he's going to stay in the middle part of the racetrack, slide it up to the top of the cushion. 21 down, 9 laps remain, and the top 4 are nose to tail. You make one mistake, it could cost you a podium right now. And don't count out the 22, Daniel Cow. He's starting to reel in your top 4. Look at that, top 4, top 5, in fact, top 6 are all running the top. Hobson, he's back there in position number 6 in car number 88. Meanwhile, Schubert in the 83 looks to the outside on Cameron Dance. That's your battle for third right now. Dance has it coming off turn number 4. 7 laps to run here at the Knoxville Raceway. Round number 3, the Down on the Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series, and Schubert and Dance almost make a mistake, and that allows Daniel Gow to take over position number 4. Gowie, he's got that top side of the racetrack rolling. Schubert back to the inside. 4th and 5th right now. They are side by side. And Berkeley is trying to make a way around the 48, but the 48 holding strong right now. Oh, Yellow is
Aaron
out
Kelly
with 5 to go. And I tell you what, like last week, we are going to see a green-white checker.
How's that for a grandstand finish that we're about to get? It was getting pretty heated, that pack too, and Gow and Hobson were doing a great job gaining up to that lead battle. We were going to see 6 cars separated by nothing at all as we get a CPR replay of Kelly. Just almost an internet glitch there which sent him around, so unfortunate for him that he has ended up bringing out the caution.
Actually, I take that back. It's just it's a 1-lap shootout now. The pace car, the guys hadn't come across the line, which I think the lights are still going to be on as they come across the start-finish line this time by. I'll keep an eye on the lights. Yes, they stay on, so they're on 2 to green at the moment, which means it'll complete lap 20. So we're going to go back to week number 1 when we had a 1-lap shootout. And it's funny how things work, eh? With the first week, we had a 1-lap shootout. Round number 2, we had a 2-lap shootout. Week number 3, we go back to a one lap shootout, and I mean, it's anybody's ball game.
Shout out to Cameron Dance, who's messaging us in the YouTube chat while he's in the car. How's that? You're not supposed to be doing that, Cam. You're not supposed to be tuning in. Don't text and drive, kids.
Or in his case, maybe don't type and drive.
But I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. As you said, 1 lap dash to get us home. This is going to be intense. And we could throw a blanket over 3rd to 6th just before when they get this restart. I'm sure the TTL guys will be trying to work together so that they can all get a little bit of a jump. But those next group of Gow, Schubert, Hobson, they'll be trying to anticipate the right time. And if they do, they are a chance to take those podium positions away.
Yeah, mind games are plenty right now for Tim Harris in the 48. He's just thinking 4 more turns to go, and he's picking up a potential round win of the Sprint Car Summer Series. Berkeley staring down the barrel of 3 straight second places. Pace car in, 1 lap shootout. We are green. Harris gets a good start. He's gapped Berkeley by about 3 car lengths. They go into 1 and 2. Dance holds 3rd strong. Here comes Gowie looking to the inside this time. Down the back straight away for the final time. Berkeley cuts it down on the low side of the racetrack. Harris on the top side. It's a drag race to the line. Give it to Harris. Oh my, another spectacular finish. 0.068. That is an unbelievable. And just to think about it, over the 3 races, we've had 2 of them finish less than a 1/10 of a second. That is unbelievable. Tim Harris gets the win. Joel Berkeley 2nd. Cameron Dance with a TTL lockout in 3rd. Daniel Gow 4th. We go back to Joshua Schubert in 5th. And an unbelievable finish.
Phenomenal finish there. And Trent Gosley also got Bretton Hobson at the line as well. So Hobson dropped back to 7th. There was a fair bit of good battling in that mid-pack. But of course we had to focus on the leaders. Big congratulations to TTL Esports. 1, 2, 3 for the team tonight, which is a phenomenal effort with how competitive this series is. You get 3 drivers home in positions 1, 2, and 3. They will be absolutely ecstatic.
Who knows? It could have even been a 1, 2, 3, 4 had Lewis not been involved in lap number 1 incident. But, I mean, it is dirt track racing. Anything can happen. But, wow, for the 3rd week in a row, at number 9, he finds himself in 2nd place. And look, I tell you what, I've seen him win championships without winning a race, without winning a single race. And, he's almost he almost won the championship. I think he had 5 seconds and a 3rd place. And I tell you, I'm pretty sure I beat him in that one. Just quietly, it's not often that you get to beat the number 9 driver, Joel Berkeley. As we've got a couple of drivers just waiting. In fact, we've got our 2nd and 3rd place guys already. I'm just waiting on our race winner of Tim Harris.
We might as well start with Joel and we'll bring him in. Joel, congratulations on P number 2 once again, but championship lead is probably the most important thing right now.
Oh, I guess, yeah, another P2. Oh, I want to win one of these, but well, that's all right. But definitely a shame what happened there at the start for us. I think I'm not going to pass judgment on that just yet without looking at it. But yeah, I think something's happened our turn 2, and I don't know what's happened. So, and it's caught a lot of stuff in there, a lot of front run.
Brett, take it away.
Joel, I've seen you win championships without winning a race and finishing 2nd quite a few times. Does it start to get a little bit frustrating, seeing a TTL driver finish in front of you?
No, not really. I'm perfectly fine. If anyone's going to beat me, I'd rather be one of the teammates.
So you're happy to run 2nd all the time?
No, but if I'm running 2nd, then if one of the TTL cars are out front, that's better than any other car out front.
And look, sort of struggled to get a groove early on in those first sort of 10 laps. I think we've seen 2 yellows, and then you guys got a good green flag run. We seen the yellow come out on lap 26, and which essentially give us another 1 lap shootout. What was your plan to try and take over the race lead on that last lap?
I was pretty annoyed that yellow came out because I was just about to break even with Tim on that before that yellow came out. I think out turn 2, and yeah, here comes the yellow. I was like, oh. But I knew the bottom was there coming out too, but I didn't know how good it was. So I just went to the bottom, how 2 and went to the bottom and 3 and 4. And yeah, obviously Tim just edged me out, but it was pretty close and good to see Tim get win.
Were you trying to replicate what you did in the heat race in the main event? Because obviously with the track getting a bit of a scratch and stuff like that in your heat race, you made that bottom side work. Did you think you were going to do the same? And did you think the track was going to be the same, in that feature race late in the race?
I thought it was. I thought I could have rolled the bottom, but yeah, I think it was a little bit less wear, but yeah, it's all right. But it was pretty good there in the end.
Well, for the third time, you come second, but as Jay said, you will take the championship lead in this one after 3 weeks, with one more week to come next week. I'm not sure what track we're at. The decision has been made, but well done on second. I'm sure you got some people you want to thank.
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Hopefully next week we might be able to go P1, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's unfortunate what happened to us. But yeah, it's a massive thanks to the boys at TTL Esports, Ashmedia Speedway Footage, down to graphics, Hyper Simulator, and everyone else that's out.
Well done, and congratulations on second. We'll move up to our race winner, Tim Harris, in the 48. Tim, you started on the outside of the front row. You got to the lead. You led, I believe you led all 30 laps here, and congratulations. You pretty happy about that one?
Yeah, thanks, Brett. Yeah, it's unfortunate what happened on that first caution. We sort of came out at turns two, and myself and Bob were side by side, and I thought I got out of it enough and sort of drifted back, but we sort of came together there, and I don't really know what happened, and it's a bit of a shame to knock quite a few good people out. It was going to be lined up for a good race, but absolutely stoked to come through and get the win tonight. It's been a long time between drinks, and it's the first win since we've joined TTL, so pretty stoked to do it for the boys, and just like to thank all of the fellas for providing us with the setups and everything. Has been a long time coming.
What was going through your mind on that last restart? Sort of the first couple of restarts, you kind of went early, but this one you sort of hung back a bit and tried to sort of switch it up a bit.
Yeah, that's it. I think being predictable on those restarts is probably a bad thing. Trying to mix it up a lot is what I tend to do. To be honest, I think the final restart actually nearly probably saved me, because I know Joel was having a run coming towards the end of that long stint, and I think he probably would have got me if we kept green all the way to the end. So I was actually pretty happy it came out, but at the same time, you just never know what's going to happen on those one lap dashes, and I'm pretty glad to hold on and get the win tonight.
Look on it, you are. Thanks to the sponsors. Well, we got you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like to thank all of the team sponsors for TTL, Hyper Stimulator, Down Under Graphics, SimSpec Engineering, and then also like to thank my brother and his design business, Thy Designs. He supports me and our race team out in real life, so I'd like to thank him and Thy Designs, and thanks to V8s Online for broadcasting this series. I think these races have been pretty exciting at times, and hopefully we can keep bringing the good action.
It's certainly been fun, and that was your winner, Tim Harris. And Jay, you might be standing by with our third place finisher.
Yep, Cameron Dance. It's not too often we get to interview you on the podium in the booth. It's good to have you in here as a podium getter tonight. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, cheers. It was a awesome night actually for me. Getting a heat win and then not doing too bad in the feature to get third, and also not too bad in qualifying. So yeah, pretty happy to have managed to got the boys a 1, 2, 3 finish tonight. Unfortunately, it could have been a 1, 2, 3, 4 if Lewis didn't end up in the fence, but that's racing sometimes. But yeah, definitely happy to walk away from this one with a podium.
Bit of evasive action when that first caution came out. A bit of NASCAR practice car paying off for you there with the evasive action when that first caution came out and the big pile up just in front of you there.
Yeah, it was a bit bizarre. I'm still yet to go over it and actually see what actually happened, but I just saw the two cars in front of me suddenly facing opposite directions to the track to where the track was going, and I thought this isn't going to end well. And then Lewis fired up in front of me, and it was like, oh, this isn't going to end well. And yeah, I eventually came out of it third, which was good.
Well, one last question. We know that a couple of weeks' time, it's the Australia versus New Zealand dirt night. You obviously will be repping the opposition. Are you looking forward to seeing how that one comes out in a couple of weeks' time?
Yeah, that should be a good event, I reckon, with it being obviously Australia versus New Zealand. I know a lot of people have been waiting for an event like that to happen, and I know it does happen quite often in real life, so it'll be good to be involved in an event like that and also rep the New Zealand side of the world and try and hopefully steal one from the Aussies.
It'll be the only time I'll ever go against you, mate. Congratulations. We better let you thank who you need to thank.
Yeah, cheers. I'd just like to thank the boys at TTL Esports for all their hard work over the past few weeks, especially tonight to get the 1, 2, 3. Thank Hyper Stimulator, SimSpec Engineering, Ashmedia Speedway Footage, Down Under Graphics, and of course you guys V8s Online for putting on an awesome broadcast.
your third place finisher in camera dance, Brett. It's been a phenomenal night of racing once again. Looking forward to the finale next week, where we will crown our first ever Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series champion.
Yeah, look, and it all comes back to heat racing as well, and the heat racing format. You see the faster guys, come from the second row and really have to work for their work for their positions and get that good starting spot in the main event. We see our second different winner, although coming from the same team. The team of TTL Esports have picked up all 3 wins so far, so they're certainly the dominant team and by far, undoubtedly, the best dirt team going around. That's for sure, no question about that. But yeah, next week should be an absolutely phenomenal race. Track TBA at the moment, so
I've never watched a race at TBA. It'll be very, very interesting. Now we'll get some more details confirmed. It'll be on our Facebook page in the next few days. We're not sure yet.
I might be a half mile actually at TBA.
Might be asphalt, just to really mix it up. No, we won't do that.
But, let's just go to Bathurst.
Sprint cars at Bathurst for 30 laps. There we go. Brett, thanks again for jumping in the booth. It's been a lot of fun.
All right, mate. Thanks for having me. It's can't wait until next week.
We're watching VX Online's coverage of the Down Under Graphics Sprint Car Summer Series. A big thank you to everyone who tuned in. Remember to like us on all our social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Even better. Big thank you for tuning in. We will be back for our next broadcast Thursday night. It will be the CPR Rallycross Series. Until then, it's bye for now.